Now let's talk about color. Um, Obviously, you're going to want to put color into the website, and I just want to show you how it works within CSS so that you're ready. We're going to apply it in the next frame, but I just want to show you just roughly. Okay, so the two main properties you're going to typically see are color and background color. You can see them here. So just these are two paragraphs. This one I added the style color red, which will make the text red, and then background color RGB, these numbers, and that will make the background green. Okay. Um, so that's what it roughly looks like. Now you'll notice I did it two different ways. There's red and RGB. I'm just going to show you real quickly down here. This is how you can define colors. So they have a number of options on how to define them. So for one, you could do it through RGB values. So you can do it's red, green, and blue, which that might be easier for you. You can also do it through hex codes, which are the 6-digit numbers. A lot of times when you're inside of Photoshop, you can see when you choose a color, it'll have the hex code underneath. So that might be useful if you're trying to get colors from Photoshop. If you already have like an established brand and you have it open, you can use it that way. It's also very accurate in comparison to trying to do it other manners. There's a bunch of predefined color names, 147. I don't generally suggest that one because that kind of is up to the browser's choice what it considers. If I put red, what this browser calls red might be different than what another browser determines as red, right? So that's different as opposed to this, which are absolute values that should be the same across all of the browsers. Also, it's limited. So generally, we don't use that. I will be using it just to show you as an example, but in the future, don't use that. And there's also HSL, hue, saturation, lightness, where the hue is a 360. So think of a color wheel. So from 1 degree to all the way back up. Saturation, how much color is in it, lightness, and then also alpha. Okay, so you can have transparency and stuff. And so that might look something like this. Now, it's kind of hard to determine what you want your colors to be. So an easy way of doing that is that I actually included the link for W3 School's color picker here. You can also click on the link here, but you can see he's like trying to poke it. And then it will open up this here, okay? And so it allows you to pick colors. So they have these really broad ones, which are fine, okay? And if you did want to use the names, there's actually, oh, you can't see it, and I can't move it. Let's see if I pull this over. I can choose names over here, so they have different ways. You can look at these if you'd like. But if I choose names, you'll see here are the different color names that are possible. Again, I don't generally suggest using that, but that is an option. Okay, so once you choose a color, you can choose lighter and darker, so on and so forth. You can scroll down here, and they'll show you more. Oh, that's weird. I don't know what that was. And then as we go up here, now maybe the best way to do this is to actually click on this, and then you can move your slider. So this might be a little bit more familiar to you than other ways of working. So I'd be like, oh, I want like a burnt orange color, maybe like that. Now, once you find the color, what you'll see is down here, it'll actually give you the values. Here's the hex code, here's the RGB, and here's the HSL. Okay, so you can use any one of those. Generally speaking, I would suggest using hex code most of the time. I think it's just cleaner and easier and more consistent. However, if you do need to do transparency in it, you can use, I think it's also RGBA, but you can also use HSLA. So just add it's just going to be one more number to represent transparency. So obviously you might need that at times. Okay, so that's how color works in a real rough sense. We're going to apply it in the next slide. So yeah.